Well, hey guys and gals, welcome back to my workshop. Today I thought I'd show you guys how I install mirrors, the reason why we put mirrors on, and the pros and cons of putting mirrors on. So I'm not going to physically show you how to put it on because, you can see just how small this mirror is and how big my fingers are trying to grab a hold of it. You're not going to see me trying to glue it on there, so I won't actually show you the physical process. I will try, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I have 5 sets of mirrors here sitting in front of me. We're going to do a few. We're not going to do every truck. I got enough to do every truck, but it's just too long a video for me to try to do all that. Even though you're not seeing everything, it's a long process. So anyway, mirrors are, I think, a great addition to a truck. I really think it helps to make the truck. You can see we got this real good looking black and silver 79 Ford. Real good looking truck, real nice paint scheme. They did a nice job on this truck, but it's just missing something. So what do? You get some mirrors to put on it, like old Goldilocks here. Put some mirrors on there and look at the difference it made. Obviously we've got different grill and different bumper and everything else, that just adds to it. That's part of modifying it and making it yours. There's, say they made 5,000 of this truck. I'm sure they probably made a few more, but just go with 5,000. That's a good number. They make 5,000 of these trucks, so 5,000 people have this exact truck. Now, some of them are not going to take them out of the package, but, around here, nothing in the package is safe. So anyway, how do you make it yours? How do you make yours different than everybody else's? This is what you do. You modify it. So, mirrors are part of that. So we're going to do a Ford today. We're going to do this one. I've been wanting to put mirrors on this truck for a while. It also needs some chassis work. As you can see, she's a little crooked, but we're just going to do mirrors for today. And then I don't want to leave my Dodge boys out, so I've got this silver flatbed. That's about the best thing I have right at the moment that I'm willing to put mirrors on. I have a couple other trucks. I have one of the first gen Dodges, one of the black ones, that the pulling truck. I don't remember the year, 92 or something like that. I don't want to put this type of mirror on that truck. And then we're going to do Old Rusty. I've been wanting to put a set of mirrors on this truck for a long time. So you can see I got a hood scoop on there. That's going to be a different video. Anyway, I'm going to put some mirrors on this one. All these mirrors I have here, I painted up aluminum, chrome, whatever you want to call it. So these are already all painted up and ready to go. On this truck, I want to use black ones though. So I'm going to do a different set for it. And then it's a matter, I'll probably do the black one and the white one and maybe even the green one. I know that's more than I have, but I've had a set of mirrors sitting in the bed of this truck for months. So I figured, well, while I'm doing this, I might as well go ahead and get mirrors on that truck. So we're going to do that too. And then I got another truck back here that I built a long time ago. Seems like a long time ago now. I need to get it listed, but I want to get the rest of the World of Outlaws stuff off of there, and then I want to put a set of mirrors on this truck. That'll help make it pop and probably help make it sell a little faster. So anyway, all these mirrors that I'm using, can't exactly remember who I got the Ford mirrors from. I apologize about that. I normally try to write this down, but I didn't. Anyway, I've got a couple sets of these Ford mirrors that I got. I think I found this guy on eBay. I will try to find his name and get it to you by the end of the video. So those were the Ford mirrors come from. And then I have 2 different set styles of square body mirrors, and I got those from Portland Car Lover. I got the folded out style, and then I got some of the folded in style. So we got 2 different styles we're going to put on. So, like I said, mirrors are a great addition to these trucks, but the thing of it is, and I don't want to make you scare you away, it is one of my least favorite things to do. But it is the one that makes it most, in my opinion, aesthetically pleasing. The reason why I don't like to do it is because you get one shot. You're only getting one shot at doing this. If you get it wrong and you screw it up, the truck is done. I've ruined dozens of trucks because the mirrors don't go on the way you want them to. And that's just a sad fact. I'm not perfect at it. I don't know anybody who is. Take this truck for example. You see all the super glue underneath the mirror. All the glue there, yeah, on top where the mirror touches the truck itself. That's because I screwed up on this truck and I tried something different, and I should not have done that. You need to learn one way and stick with that way, in my opinion. So I screwed this truck up. So that is why this truck is still in my possession. I did not sell this truck because of that. So again, you get one shot. If you screw it up, you're done. This truck, as you can see, turned out way better. Perfect. Both sides came out nicely. So that's what you got to aim for, and then you got to try to make sure when you put them on that they're perfectly straight and square, because again, this is a one-shot deal, guys. That's why I don't do it to all of my trucks. These are my favorite trucks that I've got sitting out here. So I'm gonna do these on my favorite trucks, even though I am not looking forward to it. So I'm going to get a couple of them ready and start dry fitting. You always remember, always dry fit, especially with mirrors, because again, I stress this, you get one shot at getting this right. So I'm going to dry fit a couple of these, and then I'll be back and then I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, a couple of the little things I want to show you is these things are 3D printed. So as you can see, that tab on the top there is not straight and or anywhere close to being even. And oh, I just knocked that one off of there. So you're going to have to do some trimming on these. You see the way that one is, it's not even, so it's got to be trimmed somehow, some way. And these things are already super fragile, so you got to be careful with that. You know, not only can you ruin your truck trying to glue them on, but you can ruin the mirror just trying to get them ready to put on. So what I do is I use my super cheap Chinese side cutters, and I just go up there and I just snip them off. I'm not going to do that now because you're not going to see it anyway, and I don't want to take a chance on breaking that mirror. Actually, I already have one that just fell off here. Let's do it. So again, you're not going to hardly see anything here, but I'm going to try to show you what I do to them if I can keep a hold of them. This one I'm holding in the wrong direction already. Just got to get it to where it's somewhat comfortable in your hand and where you can get a good little snip on it. And I use very cheap Chinese cutters, and I try to use the sharpest ones I can. This is a very slow process trying to get this in there because you don't want to break the mirror. There we go. You can see I just snipped that off. So now that bar is more even than it was, and it'll set better on the truck. So, but again, you got to be careful with these because you can break these and then now you're out $4 that you paid for the set of mirrors. So you just got to be gentle with them. That's all I'm trying to say. So now I got that one, just so happens to be a driver's side. I already got my passenger side set up here. I got to hold the truck up at an angle so that it doesn't fall over, and then try to get the camera in so you can see what I'm trying to do. So that is the plan. It's almost straight, almost perfect, right where we want it to be on the door. So the mirror itself may be in or out one way or another. I mean, I don't know how these things are made, but they're not made for every single truck. So you got to tweak it to make it fit on some trucks. So what we'll do is I'll show you how to tweak that. Right now we just want to make sure that it's all centered and even looking before we glue it on the truck. So does that give you an idea on what we're trying to do? I know the focus isn't the greatest here, but I'm trying. There we go. It's gotta go under the camera. That's what you gotta do. So anyway, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're getting ready to glue this one on, and then we'll work on the other side. All right, guys and gals, we got this one on. Again, you can see the mirror itself leans out a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that later, but right now we just want to get it on and glued. So right now we've got her on there. We've got her glued. She's straight and even. You want to be very careful. You don't want to get glue oozing out, so you just want to use the tiniest amount of glue when you put these on here, which kind of is tricky because how much glue do you use? Well, it's enough that you can't see it and enough that it'll stay on there. You got a little spot there on the bottom. I've got the bottom arm there. We got to touch that up with a little bit of paint, but that's okay. That'll be a lot easier to do once it's dry and stuck on there. So now we got this other one cut, and the way I do it is I just take my glue, which I use to seal all, and I take a toothpick and just dab a little bit of glue on all the top arm and the bottom two legs, a little bit of glue on each side, and then just stick it on there. You use whatever glue you're used to using. Don't switch your glue. This is not a time to try to use a different style glue, hence the F250 here, 150. Because you want to use a glue that you are used to using on a regular basis, because you already know how that glue acts. You know if it's going to be runny or not runny or whatever. So this is not the time to try out a new glue. I'm going to attempt to put this mirror on camera without screwing it up. Anybody want to lay any bets? Okay, like I said, just a tiny amount of glue, as you do not want to see this glue when it's on the truck. This glue is starting to skin over on me already. All right, I got to get some more glue. That glue's skinning over. You want to use as little amount as possible. I don't know how else to explain it. The glue I use, it skins over really fast, so you got to use it fast. All right, let's try this again. I know I'm being quiet, and that's because I'm paying attention. This is another thing you got to watch. Don't want to get too much glue. All right, here we go. And then watch where the other one was and place this one right in the exact same spot. Touchdown. And it's sticking to my fingers. Okay. There we are. Now that it's on there, you can tweak it just a tiny bit with a toothpick to move it around to make sure that it's perfectly straight. And if you got a little extra glue, now's a good time to wipe that off if you can. All right. So now we're on there. Like I said, both mirrors stick out. They're not straight. We're okay with that. All we want is we want it straight on the door. So everything looks good on the door. The frame looks good and square. We can fix the mirror later. So now we got mirrors on our old Dodge truck. So after this dries, probably tomorrow, we'll want this to dry overnight, because you want that glue to be good and dry for the next step of trying to straighten them. So that one is done. We'll set him back out of the way. And then I ain't letting the next one. I think it's time to do a Ford. What do you think? Let's do this one. So I already got the mirrors painted for this one. Get these out here. Get them off. These are even smaller than the other ones, so I don't even know if there's any way impossible I can show you how to put these on. So again, we're just going to put a little dab of glue on there and then set it into place like we did on this one. You see where we're aiming for is right underneath the wing window, and unfortunately the bracket lands right on the chrome strip, so we'll see how this one lands, if it does the same thing or not. But every truck's a little bit different, so we'll see how that one works out. So let me get that one glued on, or at least get one glued on, and I'll be right back. Alright, you can see the passenger side looks good, came out well. We had an issue with driver's side. The driver's side mirror, didn't matter what I did to it, that thing did not want to go on there and look correct. So I just, for the sake of the video, I just went and grabbed one out and stuck it on there, and I will just deal with painting it later. Excuse me. After messing with this truck, I realized just how bad this back end is crooked. You see how bad that is? So this truck needs to be torn apart. So there's a good chance I'm probably going to end up knocking one or both of these mirrors off trying to fix that. So for right now, it's going to be good. So you can see we're pretty well level. The black versus the chrome is throwing it off and making it look bad, but I've been staring at this for 10 minutes and she's about as straight and level as she's going to get. So we're going to roll with that. So again, that one broke on me. Well, it did really break on me. It just did not want to go on and did not want to cooperate. So I got it there and it won't even focus in. So the bottom there, bottom just doesn't work. So you have to take my word for it. That's the fun thing with these Fords. You put them on with tweezers, because my big fingers, I can't even see it with my big fingers trying to put it on. So anyway, that one is done as it's going to get for now. And I think we'll do old Rusty next, maybe. I don't know. We're going to wait on him. I got a set already painted up. We're going to put it on this truck for now. And then we'll probably call that done for this video, because it's getting a lot longer than I really expected it to be. So let me get these next two set and dry fitted, and we'll see about getting them put on. Alright, so this is the folded in set. Got those set on there. Again, they're not perfectly straight, but again, I need them to dry on here overnight, and then I'll show you how we're going to tweak them back into place to where we want them. This side doesn't, this view doesn't look pretty bad. Does not look too bad. This is pretty even and straight there. So we're good there. You can't really get a good look down the side because of how long this truck is, but they look pretty good. It's not going to focus in. So anyway, after this dries, tomorrow I'll come back and we'll show you how to tweak a couple of these that are not quite straight. The other ones I'm going to hold off on to for right now, just because my fingers are trying to cramp up a little bit. And then when that happens, that usually leads to involuntary muscle reactions, and then that leads to screwed up paint jobs. So we're going to let the rest of them wait for today. So you'll see them tomorrow. Well, one, I can't believe I actually got all three of these trucks to fit on here. I got the mirrors all done on all of them. I've decided that maybe it's not a very smart idea for me to show you how I straighten them up a little bit, because some may consider it not to be a little safe. Let's just say I use a little flame and I flicker it over it really, really fast, and then I straighten it up. I don't think it's probably a smart idea to show you how I do it, even though there's a lot of, younger kids watching my videos. I don't want to give anybody any bad ideas. So I got all the mirrors on. Everything's all set. Everything's straight. As you can see, this one has now been, let me slide these other ones back if I can't knock them off. I got this one painted, so it's not a black mirror on the side anymore. So again, when you're putting these on, you got to stare at them from every direction. You got to stare at them from the front. You got to stare at it from the side and make sure it's straight up and down. I always look at it from the back, but the back view in the front is going to basically be the same. You just want to make sure that they're even, level, across from each other, and that's it. Like I said, sometimes they come out good, sometimes they don't. This one is a little bit trickier with these folded in mirrors, but we got it. I got to do a little touch up there on the bottom leg there. but they're on and they look fairly straight. We're not going to be we're not going to go nuts with this truck just because it's just going to be an old work truck, same as this old Dodge. She's just an old work truck, so we're not too awful worried about it. So I hope what I've shown you in this video was helpful. If you like this kind of thing, think about liking, subscribing. It's free to you and it really does help out the channel. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram and eBay. All that information will be in the description below. And don't forget to come back. Y'all have a good day now.